Dear students, welcome to second PUC biology class. We were studying in the earlier classes about the ecosystem, different types of ecosystem structure and pond, taking an example of pond, productivity, decomposition. In the decomposition, there were different steps for the process of decomposition called the fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humidification, and mineralization. And what are the factors that are influencing the decomposition also we have studied. Today, we are going to study about the energy flow, how the flow of energy is there in the ecosystem. Let us see that, as you know, sun is the ultimate source of energy for all ecosystems, except deep sea hydrothermal ecosystem, which is there in the sea, very deep level. There, hydrothermal ecosystem is there, in which sunlight will not be penetrating over there, and sunlight will not be used over there. Except that, sun is the ultimate source of energy. Of the incident solar radiation, less than 50% is photosynthetically active radiation. Out of that, 50% is photosynthetically active radiation, what we call as PAR. Plants and photosynthetic and chemosynthetic bacteria, what they are called autotrophs. Plants and photosynthetic and chemosynthetic bacteria, they are called the autotrophs, which are capable of synthesizing their own food, fix solar radiant energy to make up food. They capture the sunlight to make up the food. Plants captured only 2 to 10% of the PAR photosynthetically active radiation. This energy sustains the entire living world. This energy sustains the entire living world. Ecosystem obeys second law of thermodynamics. That is, they need constant supply of energy to synthesize the molecules. It helps to counteract the entropy. It is to universal tendency towards increasing the disorderliness, what the thermodynamics says. So when we see producers in this energy flow, how the energy is flowing, energy will be flowing from the producers. These producers are green plants, photosynthetic algae, bacteria. Some of the bacteria which are capable of synthesizing their own food are called the producers, or they are also called the autotrophs. How the energy flows from producers to other higher level. There are different trophic levels, what we say, the higher different ranks in the movement of the food. So how the energy, food energy is moving from producers to other level called the herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, decomposers. There are different levels which will come. How the energy will be moving, we will be seeing in this. Producers, they are the organisms that synthesize food. Producers, these are the organisms that are capable of synthesizing their own food. Producers, these are the organisms that have the capacity to prepare their own food that is required for them for the growth and development. So, in the terrestrial ecosystem, major producers are herbaceous, woody plants. Terrestrial refers to the land. On the land, major ecosystem is producers are herbivores, herbaceous plants, and woody plants. Primary producers in an ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, are phytoplankton, algae. They are capable of synthesizing their own food, and higher plants in the aquatic ecosystem. The energy trapped by the producer is either passed on to the consumer or the organism dies. The energy trapped by the producer is either passed on to the consumer or it moves on to the other level when the organism dies off. When the organism dies off, the process of decomposition takes place. In that, also the energy moves from one level to the other level. You can see the consumers, what we say them heterotrophs. In these heterotrophs, these are the type of organisms that depends upon others for the food. They are called the heterotrophs. These are animals that directly or indirectly depends on plants for food. They include, for example, primary consumers or the herbivores. Here, primary consumers are the herbivores. What we say, herbivores are the type of organisms that feed on plants and their products. They feed on plants and their products. Some of the examples of the herbivores, or what we say them as primary consumers, are insects, birds, mammals, mollusks, etc. There are so many will become. Secondary consumers are the primary carnivores. Secondary consumers feed on the herbivores. Herbivores feed on the plants. So, secondary consumers feed on the herbivores, for example, frog, fox, man. Tertiary consumers are, otherwise they are also called the secondary carnivores, feed on the primary carnivores. So, feed on the primary carnivores, primary carnivores feed on the herbivores, herbivores feed on the plants. This process of feeding, this process of one eaten by another one is called the food chain. So you can see in the diagram, food chain is shown where the sequential movement of food energy from one trophic level to another trophic level is called food chain. First you can see in the diagram, grass. This is the producer. Grass uses the sunlight, prepare the food using the water. Whatever the energy that is prepared and stored in the grass is taken up by the grasshopper, is taken up by the frog, is taken up by the snake, is taken up by the hawk or eagle, is taken up by the decomposers. Like that, there is a movement of food energy. Why do these eat up other? Because to get the food from other organisms. So this is one of the food chain. Food chain means, I repeat once again, the chain of feeding relationship between the different organisms is called food chain. Otherwise, it is also called the sequential movement of food energy from one trophic level to another trophic level is called food chain. It is of two types. One is called grazing food chain. Another one is called detritus food chain. Grazing food chain and detritus food chain are the two types of food chains that we have. Grazing food chain, what do you mean by the grazing? Grazing animals, which begins with the grazing animals. So this is a type of food chain. Primary consumers feeds on the living plants. Plants will be the producers here, and the food chain begins with the plants. You can say the grazing food chain begins with the green plants. So here base will be the green plants. From the green plants, whatever the energy that is prepared, stored, is passed on to the next higher trophic level. Therefore, it is called grazing food chain. Here, primary consumers feed on the living plants. Primary consumers feed on the living plant. That is called the grazing food chain. One of the example that is being shown here is grass, goat, man. Grass, goat, man will be the example of the food chain. Or in the diagram also it is shown, it is a type of grazing food chain. You can see grass is eaten by grasshopper, grasshopper is eaten by frog, frog is eaten by snake, snake is eaten by hawk, hawk once when it is died, once when it dies off, it is being consumed by the decomposers. So this is one of the very long food chain. We will once when the food chain is very long, the top carnivores will get the least amount of energy. And food chain is very short. Usually food chain will be 4 trophic level to 5 trophic level, maximum 5 trophic level it will be having. If it is having more than that, the top carnivores will get the least amount of energy. So as long as the food chain is very short, the organisms will be getting more and more energy. If it increases, if it becomes longer and longer, the food chain also increases. The top carnivores will get the least amount of energy. So this is one of the example of the grazing food chain. There is a second type of food chain called the detritus food chain. Remember, DFS it is also called. DFS, detritus food chain. Here, primary consumer feeds on the dead organic matter. So, death of the organism is the beginning of the DFS, detritus food chain. Once when the organism dies, that from that only the food chain begins. That food chain is called the detritus food chain. The difference between the grazing food chain and detritus food chain is detritus food chain begins with the dead and decaying organic matter, but grazing food chain begins with the green plants. Remember, that's the main difference between them. So second type of food chain that we have is the detritus food chain. Detritus is made up of decomposers such as fungi and bacteria. They secrete digestive enzymes that break down detritus into simple inorganic materials which are absorbed by them. Thus, they get energy and nutrients. One of the example we can give for the detritus is fallen leaf is eaten by the earthworm, is eaten by the birds. Earthworm is being eaten by the birds. This is simple detritus food chain. For example, fallen leaves are eaten by the earthworm. Earthworm is eaten by the birds. Like that, it moves on. So, detritus food chain begins with the dead and decaying organic matter. So, thus they get the energy and nutrients. Others will get the energy and nutrients that is required from them. In aquatic ecosystem, GFS is more major conduit for energy flow. Aquatic ecosystem, GFs, grazing food chain is the major conduit for energy flow. Means they will be the base for the flow of the energy, because in a terrestrial ecosystem, a much amount of energy flows through the DFS, detritus food chain, then through GFS, grazing food chain. Because compared to the aquatic and terrestrial, many of the animals will be dying on the terrestrial rather than the aquatic ecosystem. Therefore, major conduit energy flow is in ecosystem is GFS, grazing food chain. DFS may be connected with GFS at some levels. At some point, both are interconnected. Some organisms of DFS, detritus food chain, are prey to the GFS, grazing food chain animals. Some animals like cockroaches, crows, etc. are omnivores. Here, omnivores means these are the type of organisms that are capable of synthesizing, that are capable of eating both plants and their products also, as well as other animals also. So they feed on the plants and also other animals. They are called the omnivores. These interconnection of food chains make a food web. You can see in the diagram, food web it is called. Food web, in other word, I will tell you in the simpler form, the interconnection of the food chain is called food web, or network of food chain is called food web. Network of food chain is called food web. Interconnection of the food chain is called food web, or when many food chains are connected together makes up the food web. So this is other word you can say. For example, how the interconnection is there, you can see. One of the example I will tell you how the food chains are interconnected. See, here is the corn eaten by the grasshopper, sorry. Corn eaten by the grasshopper, you can see, eaten by the rat, eaten by the python, that is eaten by the eagle. Corn, grasshopper, eaten by the frog, frog is eaten by the snake, snake is eaten by the eagle. Like that, many food chains, when they connected together, makes up the food web. That's the food web, what we say. The flow of energy at a different trophic levels we have. One of the trophic level is primary producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Here, each level or each ranks in this is called the trophic level. First trophic level, second trophic level, third trophic level, fourth trophic level. So plants will be always at the base. At the base, they are called first trophic level. Plants will be always at the base. They are called the first trophic level. And plants are eaten by the primary consumers, then that is called second trophic level. What we say, herbivores. Herbivores always falls on the second trophic level. Some of the examples of the second trophic level are zooplankton, grasshopper, cow, ox, buffalo, etc. Secondary consumer is called third trophic level. What we say them as consumer. Some of the examples of the third trophic level are example, birds, fishes, wolf, etc. And tertiary consumer will fall on the fourth trophic level. What we say them as a top carnivore. Example is man, lion, etc. So like that, different trophic levels will be there. In that, the movement of the energy will be there. You can see the arrow mark, how the movement of the energy is there, how the energy is moving from one trophic level to another trophic level. You can see here, primary producer, the energy moves on to the primary consumer. From the primary consumer, energy moves on to the secondary consumer. From the secondary consumer, energy moves on to the tertiary consumer. Like that, there is always movement of energy from one trophic level to another trophic level. A specific place of organism in the food chain is known as their trophic level. A specific place of organisms in the food chain is known as their trophic level. So here, from one trophic level to another trophic level, always there is a movement of energy, food energy. The is there. Therefore, this is one of the topic what we have studied is the energy flow of the energy. The amount of energy decreases as I move from one trophic level to another trophic level. The amount of energy decreases at successive trophic levels. So when base will be having more amount of energy, as I move from base to the top or reverse, the energy decreases. When an organism dies, it becomes a dead biomass. It is an energy source for the decomposers. Once when the organism dies off, that will become the energy source for the decomposers. Organisms at each trophic level depend on those at the lower trophic level for the energy. Organism at the higher trophic level, if they want to survive, if they want to sustain, so they need the energy at the from the lower trophic level. Therefore, higher trophic level organisms depend upon the lower trophic level always. It is. This is, you can see how the energy flow through the different trophic levels. You can see plants are there, and part of that is your second trophic level. Primary consumers are the herbivores. Heat loss will be there, heat loss will be there, and moves on to the other level. And third trophic level, secondary consumers will be the carnivores. Heat loss will be there, energy is being lost, and moves on to the next level, fourth trophic level. And fourth trophic level, tertiary consumer, what say we say, they say them as a top carnivores. They also get the energy, but at the same time they also lose the heat loss will be there. Each trophic level has a certain mass of living material at a particular time called as the standing crop. It is called standing crop. Standing crop means, I will repeat, it is a biotic component of an ecosystem. It is a certain mass of living material present in each trophic level at a particular time. That is called the standing crop. It is measured as the biomass, mass of living organisms, or number in a unit area. Biomass of a species is expressed in terms of fresh or dry weight. It is more accurate measurement. It is more accurate measurement. Number of trophic level in GFC, grazing food chain, is restricted as it is flowing, as it is following the 10% law. 10% law says only 10% of the energy is transferred to each trophic level. So from the lower trophic level, or you can also say the movement of food energy from one trophic level to another trophic level is only 10%. That is called the 10% law. Very important question for 1 mark. 10% law. It says only 10% of the energy moves from one trophic level to another trophic level. Then what happened to the rest of the 90% of the energy? Rest of the 90% of the energy is being used up as the heat loss, and also during the, it is lost during the respiration, and to carry out the metabolic activities. 90% of the energy is being used up by the living organism. Only 10% of the energy moves on from one trophic level to another trophic level. That is the 10% law. So this will be the one of the topic called the what we say them, how the energy is flowing, energy flow of energy. So another topic called the ecological pyramids, that we will see in the next class. Thank you.